welcome back to another new edition of Windows on Current Affairs. And today we continue to embark on the most pressing happenings of the hour, or the most pressing incident of the hour, which is what's happening inside Gaza, the crimes against humanity, the bombardment, use of excessive force and killing of children and women and elderly, merciless, and also the global silence and the blockade that is imposed over 2.2 million. Half of them are killed now. No electricity, no water, shortages in everything. I mean, it's a complete inhumane situation amidst global silence. Only Egypt is standing up strongly, as usual, to our brothers in Palestine, of course, with the Red Crescent and other countries. And, of course, the hero that is executing all the aids and stretching their hands to help our brothers and sisters in Gaza is Decent Life, is one of the very active organizations or a society that was formed according to the directions of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and have grown and grown every day to become what it is right now. And today we're going to be taught Decent Life and supporting Gaza. Of course, the role of Decent Life currently is very important. Every single step Decent Life is taken is helping a soul in Gaza. Of course, in addition to other societies, and of course supported by the Red Crescent and UNICEF and everything. We're very delighted to be having with us Engineer Amany Shennawy, member of civil society and international service organization. Good evening, Engineer Shennawy, and welcome to Windows on Current Affairs.
Good evening, Dina.
Of course, everybody's talking about what's happening in Gaza. Nobody could deny that the people inside, the people under siege, are deprived of their basic rights, basic human rights. So in a situation like that, there are lots of things to be done. Egypt took the initiative courageously. And of course, the summit was held the next week of the bombardment by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. We invited more than 30 countries to be able to seek out solutions and ways to be able to stretch our hands to our brothers and sisters in Gaza and save the lives of the innocent unarmed civilians. So if you like to elaborate over Egypt's initiative before we talk about Decent Life. How do you assess the Egyptian initiative taking the lead and other countries following suit after Egypt took the initiative?
It's with heavy hearts what's happening now. We're taking all the news we're hearing about. We hope that fire is ceased soon and lives are saved, because it's all about killing civilians, and this is getting very cruel and very heavy. Egypt, as a start, Egypt was always the leader in the area, taking initiatives and having a strategy towards everything. So as for Palestine, we have blood ties with them, we have brotherhood ties, and of course we're sharing a border. So it's normal that Egypt takes the initiative as a leader in the area, and always leading the initiative of doing good to humanity. Egypt started the negotiations at the beginning to deliver the aid,
the medical aid,
yes,
the food supplies,
yes,
the water,
yes,
everything.
to our brothers in Palestine, which is their right. So at the beginning, it was the negotiations. This was followed by by organizing how things are going to be delivered, how the trucks are going to enter. And we saw the drivers very happy, the Egyptian drivers driving their trucks inside Gaza, delivering the aids and the necessities for people there. the right to have medicine, food, everything. So now joint efforts is being initiated with the UN, with the Red Crescent and Egypt, of course, as Decent Life, and NGOs helping, as the coalition of NGOs is helping to contribute people's donations with to be let in Gaza through the Egyptian initiative.
Right. Of course, Egypt took the initiative. We totally understand that there are lots of other fronts that are collaborating with Decent Life, with the Egyptian Decent Life. There is the UNICEF, there is the Red Crescent, there are other, societies, international civil societies, there is the UN, and of course, there are some countries, Kuwait also have started to share, but it was very courageous from Egypt, because Israel, as a bully, was the idea that the United States was, stood in the scene and then the back scene of this war, or it is not supposed to be a war, but these crimes that are committed, it turned away or turned off other countries. It repelled other countries and chased them away from participating. At this time, Egypt did not hesitate, and they took the initiative and they started to seek the ways to help the people inside Gaza. So how did it all start? I mean, to our knowledge, that Haya Karima is an Egyptian civil society, and they were ready. They formed the trucks and everything. How were other, societies and international community joined in? How did it happen?
Decent Life is the presidential initiative that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi initiated in the year 2019. It has a strategy of developing the country. It started by developing
rural areas.
Yes, rural areas and the most needy villages. We already had the 3 stages of Haya Karima, or Decent Life, going on in Egypt, developing everywhere. Haya Karima took in parallel and took with it the NGOs. This was very smart of the initiative, of the presidential initiative, because we're used to work together. Now we have the NGOs coalition, the National Egyptian Coalition of NGOs, working with Haya Karima. So when we join efforts, always the result of that becomes bigger. So we did this inside Egypt. Now, as Haya Karima is joining hands with the same manner with the Egyptian NGOs, with the Red Crescent and UN, so the impact is very well shown. It's very clear to everyone.
And encouraging others,
yes,
to participate.
As a leader. As a leader, you always encourage people and you always have the impact. So Egypt has the impact on everyone.
Haya Karima took the lead, that's
yes.
true. And at the same time, courageously, they took the first step. They took the initiation amidst complete global silence. And this encouraged other countries like Kuwait and other countries to participate. But at the same time, let me ask you, what type of aid was introduced to Gaza in the first round of trucks, the first trip?
In the first trip, they needed everything, medicine, dry food, water. They didn't have water. They didn't have electricity, but this is couldn't be delivered. It has to be, even they don't have their needs. It's very nice of our initiative, Haya Karima, that it's becoming international. It went beyond borders. Now Haya Karima has a phase that is very humanitarian. We're having a phase in Egypt called human to human, and it turned to be child to child. Haya Karima invites school children and school youth to help prepare the aid going to Gaza. This makes the kids so into service.
It orients them.
Yes.
They become oriented.
Yes, it's all about social responsibility of the kids. They do it for their brothers in Palestine. So this is the phase we're having now in Egypt, and of course NGOs can have a part in it. It's a new phase. So it's normal Egyptian people are helping and kids to prepare Gaza's needs and to see what's missing there. And I hope soon we help in developing Palestine. Because Haya Karima is all about development.
Of course.
Yes.
Hopefully, at least sanitation and electricity-wise, I mean, the basic, foundation for any city, because the situation there is devastating and it needs a lot of development. But at the same time, our only hope now is that to save those people from the fierce attacks they are being exposed to. Again, going back to the efforts of Haya Karima, so on what criteria does Haya Karima plan for, delivering aid every stage by stage? I mean, you said the first stage you took everything, but then the media keep talking about, other elements that are taken. They said there are lots of dead corpses and they need to be buried and everything. So other things need to be transferred also, because those people are blocking the poor people in Gaza from the world. So how exactly did it take Haya Karima to the second stage? How did they plan to develop the aid into more and more elements to the people in Gaza?
As Haya Karima works inside Egypt, it's always made in a scientific way. So community assessment, I'm talking about inside Egypt and the development.
Right.
Community assessment is being
according
prepared.
to surveys, of course.
Yes, according to surveys, and the needs are always being known. So you know where to go, which villages are very poor, which need development, which needs water connections. I believe that in the same way, now the Palestinians are going to the winter season, so they need blankets, they need maybe clothes to be delivered. So community assessments and the needs that they call for are all being prepared by Egyptian volunteers. As we said, the human to human, we have grown-ups preparing what's needed, collecting from people. We have to raise awareness inside Egypt. We always raise awareness for people to donate the needs of their brothers. It's their right now to have their needs. So many people in Egypt are doing this, are donating and trying to be helpful and trying to help our brothers in Palestine. And I hope this violence stops soon. I hope it stops now.
Hopefully, inshallah. But then you talked about you brought a very important subject, which is the assessment, and surveys are being done. Usually, these things are done on a field that is close to your eyes. You go and you do an orientation and you see what's lacking, and then you do your assessment and your surveys, and then you start to form your plan. But beyond the other side of Rafah, it was not allowed to passing through. It was forbidden. So it was very difficult for people to assess the situation. of course, we used to see from on social media and on the media that is showing what's happening inside. But at the same time, there wasn't enough access for people from Haya Karima to go and assess the situation and really see what those people need. It must have been very difficult.
I believe that people there are demanding their needs. They need a certain kind of medicine, a certain kind of aid for the people, the wounded people. There, they need to bury people, so they need to be helped. They need dry food. At the beginning, water was missing there, and this is very essential for human lives. So at that stage, it's something emergency. It's an emergency. So you go for the relief of the pain of people, for the relief. You take their demands from them. They do their assessments. They know what's missing, which medicine.
How do they communicate then?
I see people communicating. Maybe I don't have
because they're cut off. The internet is cut off.
Yes, I don't have clear information about that. But I believe that maybe they communicate through the Red Crescent. Maybe through
international community,
the reporters. That we have reports.
But then how many stages now for Haya Karima? I mean, this is the fourth stage?
Inside Egypt, we finished
I mean, sent stages,
yes.
trucks
yes.
going to
Gaza. It's the second stage.
Second.
Yes.
How many trucks?
I don't have the actual number, but I believe it will be more than the first time.
Because, of course, because you have gathered more people.
Yes, and we are permitted to go, and they know now that we don't send them something forbidden. We send food, we send medicine, we are very straight in that.
The problem is that the other side, those people there, the Israeli occupation forces, they do not respect human rights, and that's why nothing could be taken for granted. I mean, no promises, nothing is credible on their side. So how do you guarantee, how do people, I mean, people who are sending the aid, either decent Haya Karima or the Red Crescent or countries or the civil society, how do they guarantee that aid is being transferred to the people who need it?
I hope all what we send goes to the Palestinian, our Palestinian brothers, and I believe that our government has the power to guarantee and to have through the Red Crescent, the Egyptian Red Crescent and the Palestinian Red Crescent, they're working together from both sides. So from our end, we send their needs that we can collect. From their end, I believe that they have to be confirming that they received the aid that we sent, and that's the right. It's very sad, really. It's getting very sad, and this violence has to stop. It's very uncivilized to have at this time violence like this.
It is because of the double standards. I mean, we really, we were not planning to delve into those details because the focus of our topic was about the aid. I mean, much more positivity, aid going to Palestinians, but at the same time, reality force itself, because double standards. When the whole world or the power countries keep nagging and keep imposing sanctions on Russia because it is in a military confrontation with Ukraine, when nothing, one of a fraction of what's happening in Gaza have been committed by Russia. It is just self-defense, real self-defense by Russia. Defending its borders and not allowing for Ukraine to join NATO, which is really dangerous. And, you know, it's a complete story. Which is basic rights for Russia. I mean, it's a military confrontation. After all, with all the respect of human rights were taken inside this military confrontation. At the same time, there were zero respect to human rights. crimes against humanity committed in Gaza, and other words that we are not supposed to mention in the program, killing of children, bombarding innocent unarmed civilians. All types of massacres have been committed under the eyes of the whole world to see on social media, but they are not detaining it. They say it's self-defense, and that's why nobody is able to seek out a solution.
Well, what I know is that rights are rights for everyone. So the rights of the Palestinians is the same as the rights of the
role of
Egyptian,
international community,
as the American, as everyone. So it's their right to live. We have to help them.
And that right also to maintain secure if they are unarmed and they have nothing to do with military confrontations. But at the same time, since you are observing the situation, you are, a specialist and someone from civil society, what exactly do the people in Gaza would be in need right now? I mean, as we are assessing the situation, there must be something that we could be thinking of right now. I guess we're going to be taking a short break and we'll come to continue our discussion, so stay with us. Welcome back. We're still talking about the role of decent life in the ongoing situation in Gaza. Of course, it's a very important role. It's not only aid, it's empowerment and support and spiritual support that is also being sent with the aid to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And of course, we hope that this will grow more and more until hopefully, inshallah, those people survive what they're going through, inshallah, with victory. We're still joined here in the studio with our prominent guest, Engineer Amany Shennawy. She's member of civil society and international service organization. Of course, Engineer Amany, we were talking about the dire things that, the dire need. What is the most dire needs for people? I mean, since you are experienced, you have your hands on now, monitoring the situation, standing on the other side. You're talking that you have witnessed a second stage of aid and coming up other stages, inshallah, to reach over to our brothers and sisters. So what are the dire needs now for people inside Gaza with the killings and the bombardment and the white phosphorus bomb, illegal weapons? Do you think the medical aid has a priority to food?
Medical aid is very important, but the more important is that fire is ceased. If the fire is ceased, we won't have injuries. We won't have people needing food. Sure. We won't have the Palestinians have their food, their needs. They are living a decent life, so they don't need all this if the fire is seized. So we're calling for ceasefire now, please. Please. The world has to stand for humanity. It's human. So they need medicine, they need food, they need all the living facilities, water, they need electricity. They need to have, it's their right to have electricity, to have their internet working again, to have food, to go to school. Going to school is a human right for those little kids, not being killed. So now they need everything. They need the world to stand with them.
How is the setting inside, on the other side, on the Egyptian side of Rafah? Are there batches from Hayya Karima and the Red Crescent and other countries and representatives from the United Nations also? Secretary General of the United Nations was there last week, and he was present, and it had great significance. Representatives from UNICEF were there, people from the Red Crescent, and civil society, figures of civil society. So Are they there? I mean, are they taking shifts? I mean, people from Haya Karima, how is it organized? I mean, regardless of the aid, is Haya Karima organizing or articulating a program, sort of a program to host social figures or influential figures to be able to empower the scene there at Rafah?
Actually, Haya Karima is working with bodies from our society, working with the NGOs as the coalition of NGOs, and this has under it a lot of youth. Did you see the youth, the Egyptian
volunteers?
Youth,
Yes.
staying at Rafah border? They are our source of pride. They are there helping to collect the food, the medicine, helping to deliver, helping to give the Palestinians, give them what we think of, give them some sort of encouragement. So all those are there, the United Nations, the Haya Karima Decent Life, the coalition of Egyptian NGOs, everyone is helping with the Red Crescent. And of course it's a good idea that some sort of figures and people who can make impact goes there and be there beside the borders. Who are there are normal people like us, youth, Egyptians. They feel what's happening to their brothers, the Palestinian, and everyone is unhappy. I see that this is transferred to other nations too. People are starting to see the real picture, the violence, and that those children and people in Palestine needs to have their human rights.
Is there collaboration with other sectors or other organizations or societies between Haya Karima and probably UNICEF, or between Haya Karima or Red Crescent or other civil societies? I mean, do they dissect, I mean, the roles? Do they organize the roles between them, or everyone is working separately?
Egypt, as I can see, as I can analyze, that Egypt is leading the scene. So we are on top of everything, knowing what's going on the other side of the borders and what Palestinians need, and collaborating with everyone. It's always the collaboration and partnership always gives more impact on the point that we're working on, and at this time the point is helping our brothers in Palestine. So yes, everyone is collaborating with the other and helping to deliver the needs of the people, and all the world is as nations, as people of the world are sending to the Palestinians their feelings that they are with them. So I hope that this goes officially, and all the countries go for this decision, the ceasing the fire.
Ceasing the fire.
Yes, it's
of
it
course
has to be done.
Of course, ceasing the fire, but until we can reach this limit or this stage, lots of kids are going to be killed. Already people are stranded inside hospitals. The problem is that they are bombing hospitals. The whole world should know. I mean, we don't have to, I mean, talking about that subject, it is shown on social media. So delivering aid to people that are stranded inside hospitals and the next minute they are bombed inside is something really not fair. And it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's very frustrating at the same time. Something should be done, that's true. But until we reach that stage, there should be some plans in order that this type of aid could go quickly to the people. Even if the hospital is bombarded, where would the aid be taken? Like for the baptism hospital, for example. it was bombed in a second. So in that case, how could they receive the aid, the medical aid?
People in this hospital won't receive anything. They're now, unfortunately,
so they moved to another hospital, and aid is moved to another hospital.
Yes.
Right.
So it's about the organization on the other side of the border. We are organizing in our
You're taking the thing from them.
Yes.
But at the same time, looking over Hayya Karima and its activities, we're really very proud of that presidential initiative. In a sense, the first reason is that it has diversified its activities and developed into and bloomed into something great. I mean, not only domestically, it is going beyond domestic to over borders to help other neighboring countries, brotherly countries. Probably people in Africa, also African countries, and this happened. Hayya Karima also extended its help and development to some places in African countries in the past stage. So Hayya Karima is doing a great job, and it's all funded by Egyptians, donations. Right.
Yes, Hayya Karima is the presidential initiative that was initiated by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the year 2019. The goals of Hayya Karima are the same, are coinciding with the goals of the UN. So it's the goals. It's really the same goals NGOs are working on.
And the goals of sustainable development.
Yes, goals of development, of peace, of having people educated, of having women empowered.
Access to water, to sanitation.
Yes. So the goals of development, the goals of getting a better life, a decent life. So
right to education and everything, even digitalization.
Yes.
Hayya Karima is also stretching ahead in that particular field.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost combining the 17 goals of sustainable development.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we only have 2 minutes or less than 1 minute. But at the same time, how do you read the coming stage? I mean, in the role of decent life or Hayya Karima with the crisis in Gaza?
I hope that the fire stops, the violence stops, and Hayya Karima helps the Palestinians.
Will continue to develop more help.
To develop Palestine and to have their rights and to have their country, Palestine, and having its capital, Eastern Jerusalem. This is the rights built on justice.
Of course. Hopefully, inshallah, Jerusalem is, the Mecca of the Arabs, and it will always remain like that. So hopefully we are praying, crossing our fingers, of all of us here, Egypt and other Arab countries who really have the heart for brothers and sisters, and who stretch their hands with some world countries. Also, almost all the world now is empowering and supporting Palestine, and we can always see it on social media. So we're stretching our hands and fingers, praying for our brothers and sisters in Gaza, and also hoping that very soon the Arab Jerusalem is going to be attended by all Arabs, and celebrating at Jerusalem, and also celebrating the survival of the most courageous nation in the whole world, the Palestinians. Hopefully, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Of course, on that note, I would like to thank you, Dr. Engineer Amany Al-Shennawy. You are a member of civil society and International Service Organization. I'd like to thank you so much coming over to Windows on Current Affairs.
Thank you.
And with this, we come to the end of this edition of Windows on Current Affairs. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again next week. That's a goodbye.